What is up, Moonwalking fans? It is MJJT here, and I'm back with another video for you guys. Today we're going to be talking about the Jackson 5 tour in Mexico that they did in 1975. This tour is my favorite tour, but it's going to be my last tour that I'm going to be reviewing for with the Jackson 5 name on it, for right now at least. We're going to be talking about this tour, the clothing and everything as usual. I'm very excited for this tour, so slash concert review. If you are new, remember to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Feel free to share. I hope everyone's having a good rest of their day, and I hope they enjoy this. I hope you guys enjoy this video. Yeah, I'm really excited. There's already like 5 videos up on my channel about this discussion for the tours. And yeah, this is when they were like one of their last tours, because this is like in the middle of them transitioning from Motown into Epic Records. And we'll talk a little bit about that later on. But yeah, we're gonna get on to the songs, and then the clothing as usual, and then we'll get on to the main review itself, and then yeah, that's it. I hope you enjoy this video. We're gonna get on. This video is gonna be a little bit longer than usual, so let's get on to the review. Song number 1 is called "You Were Made Especially for Me." That's song number 1. Song number 2, "It's Too Late to Change the Time." Song number 3, "Never Can Say Goodbye." Song number 4, "Papa Was a Rolling Stone." Song number 5, "Happy." Song number 6 is "I Am Love." And then Randy presents the band, the synthesizers, the synthesizers, the music players, the instrumental music players, and all of them. He presents them, and he does it like a little bit comedic way as well. He's like, "Hey Mike, I thought you were gonna let me do it," Well, Michael was getting ready to present the band, and then he's like, "Mike, I thought you were gonna let me do it," and he comes up and he says hello to everyone in Spanish, and then he presents the band, like Joe Scott, Bill Rockchurch, and Johnny Jackson, and a couple others. And Johnny Jackson is actually their cousin as well. So yeah, and at this point, Jermaine Jackson had already left the group. When I mean left is like they were getting ready to go to Motown. Sorry, to go to Epic Records. And Jermaine Jackson was sorry, I meant to say Jermaine. Jermaine Jackson actually had decided to stay with Motown, and instead of leaving to go to Epic Records with the brothers. So Randy, Michael, Tito, Jackie decided to go, and Marlon decided to go to Epic Records. And yeah, it was very good because they didn't really have that much freedom with their music as they did with Epic Records. So that's why they decided to move on. So Jermaine Jackson, which is one of the Jackson 5's brothers, isn't in this concert. So yeah, that's also one thing to know. He wasn't in this concert, so it's also something to also specify and talk about. And yeah, this was a really good tour. Like, there's a lot of songs here. We're not done. There's still some more songs that I have to talk about. But yeah, they replaced Jermaine with Randy, and Randy was a little bit more involved. Like the other tours, he was involved, but not as much as he was in this tour and the later tour. And this was their last tour, I think, slash concert as the Jackson 5. So yeah, this was their actual last tour. As the Jackson 5. Before they transitioned to the Jacksons, and they had, Motown years was fun and all. They said it themselves in some interviews, but with Epic Records, they had a little bit more freedom with their music. Some of the songs, were created by them, and they made so many good songs on, Epic Records. "Enjoy Yourself," "Show You the Way to Go," "Dreamer," "Can You Feel It?" So many other songs on their albums with Epic Records, and it was very good. "Enjoy Yourself" as well. "Enjoy Yourself" was well known as well. And yeah, I'm gonna be taking a 2 week break. Just one thing also to know, one thing to mention. I'm gonna be taking about a 2 week break from this from this tour slash concert reviews that I've been doing so far, and then I'll come back and then make a little my own little take on it. Um, yeah, so I'm really excited for this review. I hope you guys enjoy. This is gonna be my last tour review for the Jackson 5 as the Jackson 5 for them as the Jackson 5. But yeah, Jermaine had left the group, decided to stay with Motown, and this is when they were about to transition to Epic Records. They were still in Motown, excuse me, but Jermaine was in this concert. So this concert came out in December 1975, which was a while ago. But it was still a really good concert, and it was really good quality as well. It was a really good quality. So I'm made to believe this may have been broadcasted on television, because this is like a really good concert that they did in December in in Mexico, December 1975. But yeah, let's get on with the rest of this. We'll talk a little bit about that later on. And also, Michael's voice is like, he sounds like, the Michael from Off the Wall era musics. No, like his voice was already like, he had already hit his adult voice. He has his by this time he has his adult voice, because he's about like 16, 17 at this point right now in this point in time. So that's also one thing to note. But yeah, he was like 16, 17 at this time, so his voice was starting to change, sound a little bit more like the Off the Wall Michael voice that he had. Like, in the Japan tour that I was reviewing, his voice kind of sounded a little bit, raggedy, because it was just changing. He was turning into adolescence, so that's why his voice was starting to change and everything. And he had a little bit of, that's why I was saying he had to sing a little bit like he couldn't hit the high notes as good as when he was, younger, because his voice was starting to change because he was becoming an adolescent. So that's also one of the reasons why. One of the reasons why he couldn't really hit those high notes on in the Japan tour, and I talked a little bit about that as well in my review. But yeah, let's get on back to the songs. We have song number 7 is Rockin' Robin. Song number 8 is Life of the Party. Song number 9 is Forever Came Today. Song number 10, Music and Me. Song number 11, Ben. Song number 12, I'll Be There. Song 13 is Medley. I've already kind of like discussed and reviewed what Medley is, so you guys can check that out. I discussed that in the Japan tour also. Yeah, remember to also, just before you continue watching this video, pause the video, watch the other ones, read the description, and then watch the video, the rest of the video. But yeah, song 13, Medley. Is a medley. Sorry about that. Is a medley. I Want You Back, ABC, The Love You Save, song 14. After the medley, there's medley. Song 13 is medley. I Want You Back, ABC, The Love You Save, which are super good songs from the Jackson 5's early albums. And then we have Tito's guitar solo, where he's playing the guitar and everything like that. And then song 14 is One Day in Your Life. And then Michael presents the band. This time Michael comes in and presents the band, because the last time Randy came and presented the band, but this time it's Michael. Yeah, so as I was saying, Michael presents. Sorry, I'm tongue tied today. Michael presents the band because before that Randy presented the band. And then Michael comes in and presents the band. Song 15, Dancing Machine, which is one of my favorite songs, well known as well. Song 16 is Body Language. Song 17 is Do the Love Dance. Song 17, and that's the last song. So song 16 is Body Language, and song 17 is Do the Love Dance. Those are some fabulous, great songs. I really enjoyed those songs. Not as much as the other ones, Dancing Machine, Papa Was a Rolling Stone, Medley, It's Too Late to Change the Time. All those were great songs. But yeah, I don't like them as much as the other songs, So yeah, 16 and 17 aren't my favorite songs. The other earlier ones are my favorite ones. So now we're gonna get on with the clothing, and then I'll do my initial review, and I'll talk a little bit more about it. Tito's wearing a white dress suit, white undershirt, flower collar, white pants, and a marble-ish diamond on his suit, on his dress suit. He has some like marble-ish diamond decorations on his suit, on his dress suit, and then he has a white undershirt with a flower collar, and then he has the Jackson 5 logo, like kind of like he has like a belt, and then right in the middle is like the Jackson 5 logo symbol, J5 symbol, I should say. And then Michael has the same thing. He has a white dress suit, um, white undershirt, flower collar, white pants, J5 and the J5 logo. Marlon has white dress suit, white undershirt, flower collar, and J5 logo, white pants. Randy has a white vest, and a flower collar. He has a white vest, um, he has a white vest. Randy has a white vest, uh, a white undershirt with a flower collar, and then he has white pants and the J5 logo as well. Tito has this Jackie. Now we have Jackie, the last one. He has he's wearing a white dress suit, white undershirt, and the flower collar, and white pants. He doesn't have the J5 logo. So those are the clothing. Now we're going to get on to my initial review, and then I'll do the closing. So this tour was really good, and I will be talking about what I do and do not like about this tour. But I don't really have anything that I don't like about this tour. This tour is like really good. I really liked this tour, so I don't really have any complaints about it. So let's get on with my review of the tour so far. So I really enjoyed this tour. This was a very special tour to me, especially since it's gonna be the last one that I'm gonna be uploading for the tour / concert that I've been doing so far. There will be other videos within the weeks, and maybe in the next 2 weeks or so I'll start doing the Jacksons tours that they did, like the most well known, like Destiny, Triumph, Victory, Bad, all those ones will be upcoming soon in the next 2 to 3 weeks. I'll be reviewing them, discussing them as well, hopefully. And yeah, this tour was a really good tour. I really love the songs. You Were Made Especially for Me. They just got right onto the song. They didn't really introduce themselves. They just got right onto the songs, and then they did about 6 songs before Randy came in and introduced the band, and then his brothers. Like I said, he says hello in Spanish and everything, and introduces his brothers, and and it was very very funny how he did it, and I will leave the name to the tour in the description below, as well as that. Yeah, so I hope you enjoyed this tour / concert review. I really enjoyed watching it. I hope you guys will too. I'll leave the name in the description like I just said, so you guys can check that out. Yeah, not much else to say about that. I really like how he stops Michael while Michael's about to introduce the band. He's like, wait, Michael, I thought you were gonna let me do it, and then he walks over and takes the mic and says hello, and in Spanish, and then introduces the band. Like I said, it was very very brilliant and interesting. And I like Tito's guitar solo. That was really good as well. There was so much good moments to this concert / tour that they were doing. So many good moments that they did. It was a really good concert. I really enjoyed it. There's no complaints that I have. It was very interesting. Yeah, no problems. Everything was good. Everything was well thought out, well put together. I have no complaints. Really good. Yeah, as I said, Jermaine wasn't in this group, so it was only the 5 of them. In the last tour, it was the 5 of them, but like there was just one had left and one had been replaced. One had left the group. Jermaine had decided to stay with Motown, which is their first record company that they signed on to. The first record company that the Jackson 5 had signed on to, Motown, and then Epic Records, a company with Gamble and Huff. That's what they decided to do a little later. So right after this tour, I believe they, I guess, signed on with Gamble and Huff, and then became the Jacksons. They dropped the 5 and put the S, and that was entitled. That was their first record with Gamble and Huff Productions. Epic Records was called. It was called the Jacksons. And it had so many good songs. Enjoy Yourself is a well-known song as well. Dreamer, Show You the Way to Go. Those are brilliant songs. There were so many good songs on their first album with entitled Jackson's, their first Jackson's Records with Epic Records. That was one of their first that was their first record album released, and they did so many good so many more good songs on Epic Records, and they had more freedom. And some of their songs were actually, created by them. Like Can You Feel It was, created by Michael and Randy. They both tied in and helped out with that song. So that's also one thing to note as well. So it was a really, really good put together an output that they did. I really enjoyed that. No complaints about this tour. I really have no complaints. I'm trying to think of a complaint that I have, but I have no complaints. They did such a good job, As I said, Randy was still in the spotlight. He was still, more involved, because the other tours he wasn't that involved, unfortunately. But he was involved a lot more in this tour, because he had become an official member of the Jackson 5 / Jacksons at this point in time. So he was still a member of the group. So yeah, Jermaine Jackson had stayed with Motown, and they decided to move on with Epic Records, like I've said. Yeah, not much else to say about this tour. Really enjoyed it. The clothes that they wore was really good. They did a really good job. And at the end, they took off their dress suits, and just kept on, their white undershirts, and they were singing. It was such a good, closing and everything like that. I feel like they had fun doing this one as well, even though Jermaine Jackson, which was one of their brothers, wasn't in this tour. But I feel like they still had a lot of fun doing it as well. Like they had a good time, and enjoyed themselves. I really feel like they did. Do that. Had to have a good, had a good time. What else is there to know? Yeah, like I said, Michael's voice was, changing. He sounded like, an adult now. He didn't sound like, a kid. Um, he was an adult. He was an adult. He was like a teenager, 16, 17. He wasn't like 14, 13, 14. He wasn't like a kid anymore. He was like an adult now by this point. Basically, and they had, at this point, they had been doing it for about like 4 or 5 years now. Like doing it with Motown, and I think they just got tired of just not being able to have the right to make their own music. But I think Motown was like one of their best music. They did a really good music with Motown. They made so much good hits. I think they made about 4 hits with Motown. So they did a really good job. It was really good. I really enjoyed this tour in Mexico that they did in December of 1975. Excuse me. Yeah, like I said, this was their last tour in Mexico, in that they did with the name Jackson 5. After this, they switched over to the Jacksons. They worked with Gamble and Huff Productions. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'll see you guys on the next one. Stay